Hi everybody, welcome to this episode of Prescott Gallery of Homes. I'm your host, Steve Irwin, and today we have Stephanie Maitland, the realtor in our office here in Prescott. Hey, Steph.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Pretty good. So, first of all, tell me about the listing you have coming up.
Oh, I have a pocket listing. It's going to go on the market in the middle of the month, and it's in Phoenix, in Vestancia.
Vestancia?
And it's a pretty big house. It's 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-story, master upstairs, a large lot, over 10,000 square foot lot. And it's over a 3,000 square foot house. And so it's sort of got like a corner backyard, but it's not a corner lot. But yeah, so that would be going on the market. I think we're listing it at $429, under $429.
Wow, that's a great price for that area.
Yeah.
Is that a golf community?
It is a golf community and also has community pools and all that.
Clubhouse?
Yeah, and the HOA is under $100. It's $86 a month when you get all that.
Yeah, I had a relative live down there. Yeah, they have like pool tournaments and a very active community.
Yeah.
And so it's very nice. I have a listing, Kim and I. It's over in Granville in Prescott Valley.
Oh, that's a good spot.
It's a fast market over there.
Yes.
Those things get on the market and they get sold. It's coming on the market tomorrow at $326,000. It's a beautiful show, just like the model. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's 1,222 square feet, fully landscaped, front and back. And so give me a call if you guys want to preview it or have a client that's interested in it. So that's coming on the market. But, you know, our market is short inventory.
Yeah, it is.
Crazy low interest rates. And,
Yeah, very low.
So we get a lot of clients that are coming in that are retired or cash buyers or...
Where's your clients coming in from?
We get a lot from Phoenix, actually.
Really?
Yeah, Phoenix is a good feeder market for us.
Mine's coming from California.
We see a lot of California tags in the parking lot. And
yeah.
But, you know, one of the things that we were talking about earlier is that NACA. So tell me what you know about that.
Well, I've been reading a lot about it, and it started in 1988. I don't even know why we don't know much about that.
Okay.
But it's for low-income people that have bad credit scores.
Okay.
So normally if you don't qualify for a loan, this is a good place for you to start. They just go on your monthly,
Your income.
Actually your credit too.
Right.
Like, well, not your credit. I'm sorry.
Right.
But yes, your how much you make.
Okay.
Within like the last
your
year,
cash flow
year and
or
a half.
however you want to.
Yeah.
We used to have a thing years ago called stated income loans. I think there's some still out there, but when I was looking at that website, it specifically said no credit scores required, good or bad, and so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, they do. It says it takes a long process though, so you have to be taking classes.
Okay.
I think it's like an hour and a half, like what was it, 4 weeks out of a month or something like that. But that's a drawback. But still, I mean, there's no title fees.
Right.
There's no down payment. There's no PMI.
No private mortgage insurance.
Right.
That's $300-400 a month right there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about it for myself.
And what about down payment? Do you have to put a large down payment, or is a down payment not required?
No, I don't think there's no down payment either.
Okay.
Yeah.
So low or slow credit, no down payment.
You have to pay all your other bills on time. Maintain your income.
Right.
Avoid taking new debt. So no new cars or anything like that. So.
And you apply online, and that website is naca.com, correct?
Yes, and the qualification only lasts for 90 days. So once you do it, you got to do it again after 90 days.
Oh, okay. So you better find the house that you're looking for.
Or I hope there's some on the market.
Yeah.
It's a buyer's market right now.
Well, it is. I was looking at the MLS, and when you look at residential properties for sale, we're below 400. Yeah, in the whole Quad City area, and so that's like nothing.
Really?
Yeah, 4 years ago we had like 5,000 homes for sale.
Yeah.
And so all the folks moving in from out of the area. It's taking up our inventory.
I call them escapees or
Escapees, refugees, political refugees from California. They're
they're fun though. They're fun.
And so what are some of the other requirements?
Well, let's see. You have to have a membership to NACA.
So you have to go to their website and join. That's like $25 a year.
Yes.
So it's not hugely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And what else we got?
Well, it says no closing costs, so that's good.
Wow. So you can literally go find a house for sale, use their pre-qual, use them for financing, and because most places you get a loan, it's 20% down for conventional.
Yes.
3%, 3.5% for FHA. Now, if you're a veteran, you can go in and buy a house with no down payment also, but you have to have a good credit score.
Yeah, and the thing about that, I also think that they do refurbished stuff too. FHA, you have to have flooring, you have to have paint.
Right.
FHA, they have like a bunch of rules, but here I saw that you could also probably, I read that you could, rehab a place.
So, so FHA has the 203K rehab loans. So this is automatically embedded in that NACA program.
Oh, that's good.
So you can buy a house that might need paint or flooring or appliances and fix it up.
Yeah.
So
I might look into
it's starting to
myself.
sound like the USDA loans a little bit because you have to take classes.
Yeah, but the USDA, you're only allowed to buy in certain USDA communities.
That's right. And I don't think there's any in Prescott. There was some like in Dewey, Humboldt last year, but I haven't seen anything in Prescott or Prescott Valley.
I did one a few years ago with the USDA, and there was a pocket in Prescott Valley.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know now.
Yeah.
So it was a nice house.
And I know they changed the boundaries yearly. They update it once a year.
Yeah.
And
So you would have to get on there and see.
So, normally when we get a client that doesn't have a lot of down payment to buy a house, we'll ask for concessions from the seller, but since it's there's no inventory, a lot of sellers aren't willing to do that. And so this would be a great program.
Yeah, it would be.
Anything else with the program people need to know?
Well, I think with just that we're talking about the USDA, I think if you're over, your credit score is really high, then you have to go in a certain area. But it didn't really explain that very well.
Well, and
in a community.
And so they're going to use the loan limits for the area for the conforming loan limits, which I believe is $510,000, and it goes all the way up to $762,000 depending on where you're at.
That's a lot of money.
Well, especially for someone that doesn't have a lot of down payment. So.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how much So would they put that into the loan?
They put it into a loan, yeah.
So your payment, if you got a high price of a house, your high payment will be high, but you won't have the PMI.
You won't have the PMI. You'll have a low interest loan, somewhere like 2.25% interest.
Yeah, right here. I just pulled this up today. 3-year fixed, 2.32, and they give you a discount on that.
Wow, that's a smoking deal. Yeah. But you have to live in the house afterwards.
You do? You can't rent it.
You can't rent it out, and so it's not for investors.
Right.
And it has to be, you can't own another house, so it has to be the house that you live in when you close. If you have a house now, you can sell it and still qualify for this.
It's not first time buyer, so that's a good thing.
Right, and so that's a good resource to have. And so, no, that's good to know. There are some USDA no down payment programs I've been looking at. We'll probably talk about it in the next episode. And then there are some down payment assistance programs that are basically a gift. And so
a gift. Well, that's good because I seen where they added on to the loan.
Right.
So I mean that's even better. But times today, I think they have to do that.
Well, and it's important because a lot of people will go out and they'll want to talk to, the people at the sales office. If you go to a subdivision developer,
oh yes,
which we never recommend because they only represent the developer.
Yes, they do.
They do a good job, but they don't represent the buyer.
Right.
And that's important to understand. Whereas when we do that, there's no extra cost to it, and they get
Yeah,
representation.
it's like for free. You get free representation.
That's
The
right.
seller pays our commission on that, the builder.
That's right.
So-
And that's built into the sales price.
Yeah.
So they assume that they're going to pay it. The important thing I think for people to realize is that when you start looking to buy a house, the first thing to do is speak to a realtor, someone that you know or trust. If you don't know anybody locally, then call around. Worst case scenario, go online, read reviews, see what people say. But if the realtor doesn't know about programs like NACA and how to negotiate new home builds and things like that, they're probably not going to be that much help to them.
Yeah, I think last year I closed 3 new home deals.
You did a lot, I know.
Yeah, it took a long time to close. I mean, now, what, it's about a year or more to close on a new home?
Yeah, we're closing over there in Dorn Homes at Walden Ranch. We wrote that in October, and I think we're closing July, so it's about 9 months. So and it
Well, that's good.
depends on the builder.
Yeah.
And is it a production home or a custom home?
Yeah.
And so we tend to work with Dorn Homes, Universal, the bigger builders, and they get it done 6, 7, 8 months. So depending on what you order. So.
Yeah, I just closed all mine. Waited for a long time, but yeah, we also go in and we do videos of the home as it's progressing. So if you're in California, we go in with videos as it's being done to check on. We have wrong countertops. We check on
we've
that.
seen it all.
Wrong paint.
Right. A couple of years ago, we sold a house, and they didn't put internet into the house. And so we had to go back and redo that.
And you want to do it before they put the walls in.
Well, yeah, it'd save you a lot of time. They put the plugs in the wrong place.
Yes.
The client wanted plugs a little bit higher on the walls in the bedroom, because that's where the TV was going to be. And they wanted a cable outlet there too, and they didn't do none of that. The couple of days after closing, it rained, the roof leaked. It was a challenge. We got through it, but that's why they give them that 2-year builder warranty on there to cover things like that.
Well, that's good.
So
It used to be 1 year, didn't it?
no, it's been 2 years. It's really not a warranty like we think of warranties. The Department of Registrar that supervises these guys tells them that their warranty their product for 2 years. They have to fix anything that's wrong with it. I believe it's a 10-year tradesman warranty, and then of course your appliances and materials usually have a 20-year warranty. So there's a
That's
lot of
a long
warranties
time.
out there.
Yeah.
Well, one more thing before we wrap up this episode, I want to talk about supplemental taxes. And a lot of people don't know what those are, but let's say on your listing in Bacassia coming up, if that person is disabled or elderly or a widow, then is what Arizona can do is freeze those taxes and sometimes take those property taxes to zero. So if you have a client out there that owns a home, whether you sold to them or not, and they're elderly or widowed or disabled, then there's forms that we can fill out. We can help them fill it out for them, turn it over to the county, and they'll actually freeze their property taxes, or they'll reduce them to zero. Many times it's just a freeze though. And taxes, when you're on a fixed income, you don't want to pay a lot of taxes.
You know what? Since you told me that and I got those applications from you, I've already handed them out to at least 3 people.
Well, absolutely. Well,
And
yeah.
they get excited because they're retired. And they're, and they're like, yeah.
They love our community, but they have to be able to afford to live here too, right?
Right.
And so the taxes play an important role. So, for instance, if say you sell a house and those taxes are frozen, right? Because the person there is elderly, or
Oh, yeah, okay. See what you're
okay, so. But let's say that the identical house right next door is paying normal taxes. They could pay, $1,000 more a year, let's say. So you sell this house, it has an elderly person in there, and the taxes have been frozen for 5 years or longer. You sell it, the buyer comes in, the escrow people will prorate their taxes based upon the current tax
Well, I would hope so.
the current taxpayer was paying, right? But really,
Make sure you double check that.
right. But really, the buyer doesn't get that tax benefit because maybe the buyer's not elderly or something, right? So the monthly payment is for a lower amount of taxes and not the correct amount. And so when they get their annual tax bill a year later,
It'll be higher.
it'll be a lot higher and it hasn't been paid. And so it's what we're finding out now is that the homeowners that we sold the house to a year ago or 2 years ago, they have an unknown tax lien on their property because maybe they had their address from where they moved from, and that's where their tax bill. Huh?
I thought it was a good thing.
Well, it's a good thing if you don't want to pay taxes, but ultimately, is what'll happen is that supplemental taxes, the difference on what you owe than what was actually paid, if you don't pay it, and many times they're not aware of it, it'll turn into a tax lien. And so is what we do for our clients, I do, Kim and I, is we'll sell a house, we'll go back a year later, put it on our calendar, we'll verify that they're at the correct tax rate. If they can benefit from one of the exemptions or reductions, we give them that. But we also verify that their taxes are current and they don't owe any supplemental taxes. So, but you know, real estate's a complicated thing, and
That changes every day.
It changes every day. So, hey, in closing, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I just had this listing come up, and then in the future, I have some other lots that I'm going to list out there at Talking Stick, Talking Rock.
Talking Rock. Mm-hmm.
At the
Yeah,
casino.
Talking Stick's the casino in Phoenix. That's
Talking Rock.
Okay, Talking
So I
Rock.
think there's like 7, from like 1/2 acre to 3 acres.
Uh-huh.
But we're waiting, to see what things happen.
Absolutely. Well, I've been getting probably one or two a week of people looking for property valuations, and so I send them. I do a report for them, and I send it. Doesn't take very long, and I follow up with them a day or so later. And so there's a lot of people out there who are interested in putting their houses on the market. I think they're waiting with this whole COVID thing and all that to come to an end. But I do think there's quite a bit of activity that's going to happen this coming year. So I'm really excited.
Well, Steve, it's 2021, and the best is yet to come.
That's right. Absolutely. So, hey, well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah. Thank
Excellent.
you.
And thanks, guys, for watching this episode of Prescott Gallery of Homes. Have a great day.
Bye.